welcome or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sophie and today we're going to be reading 1-star reviews of my favourite books and books, like popular books I've read. I'm really excited to do this because I haven't watched anyone else's, but I've seen a few people do this. Like, I've seen like the thumbnails pop up on my YouTube, and I can tell that some of the comments and reviews are going to be brutal, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I've got Goodreads open. The first book on my list is Harry Potter, so let's go for Harry Potter. And should we do Prisoner of Azkaban? Because that's one of the most popular ones, I think. Like, people really like this book. So let's look at the reviews. Oh my god, there are 24,000 1-star reviews. Loading. I did think of this the other day, but I forgot. Harry Potter reviews are just critical of J.K. Rowling, and I didn't think that through. So a lot of them are just people being rude about Jo. Let's see if I can find some that aren't critical of J.K. Rowling and are just talking about the book itself, shall we? Yeah, no, a lot of them are like, I like this book, but I hate J.K. Rowling. So we're going to move on from Harry Potter. Never mind. Let's keep going. So let's do Narnia now, the Chronicles of Narnia. Which one should we do? I think we'll do Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe because that's probably my favourite. So let's see. There are currently 2 million ratings and 34,000 reviews. How many 1-star? 35,000 community ratings of 1-star. Oh my god, even I don't know what it is. In my opinion, this book was really okay, this really repeated probably about 50 times. Boring. I'll never ever to read this book. Hugo wasn't a fan. I have no idea why a boring story took so many pages. It's not worth reading, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. Well, alright, I have to say this book is terrible. In fact, I haven't read this book before, but I heard from other people that this book ruined their childhood. If you've not read it, you can't give it 1 star. That's not bloomin' fair. Okay. This book is really bad. It's the most boring book I've ever read. It's a waste of time, and even little child won't believe the author. Rubbish book ever. People aren't liking this book. I'm really enjoying how much people dislike these books. I think the writer is hardworking. He might be a boring man, but love writing. And I think he should read or watch something fun and then make the story more fantastic. I don't think this Becky knows when this book was written. Okay, some of the people on Goodreads are actually unhinged. I'm just reading these reviews and I don't know how to react. Like, I don't know if they're joking or not. I think it isn't worth reading because it reveals the black world of humanity. The main reason that I want to give the book 1 star because every time I read it, is a big torture for me to read. The front cover of the book always scare me because the lion represents the devil people. It can change our mind little by little into each other as a hobby. Although those silly readers rated it 5 stars, truth is truth, nobody can change my rate, otherwise you are a silly pig in capitals. Like, what? A group of 4 kids who are brothers and sisters find themselves in a whole different world. Lucy, who is the youngest, discovers it and her brothers and sisters do not believe her at all. Once they check it out for themselves, they see what it really is. I would not recommend this book because it's very long and takes a while to get to the point. Absolutely terrible, so boring. I can't believe people find this thing they call a book any good. I just couldn't get into this one. Maybe if I read it as a child, I would have enjoyed it much more. Wow, this person's written like an essay. Lena, who believes that this is C.S. Lewis trying to catch up to Tolkien. I didn't like the theme and point of the book. Michelle has rated it 1 star and her review says, okay. to basically read the Bible. I forgot how preachy this book was until a reread. I can't believe we read this to children. Okay, after reading these reviews, I can see why people don't like it, but I disagree. So, okay, what's next on my list? Pride and Prejudice. This is going to be good. This is meant to be one of the best books of all time. So, let's see how many. 4 million ratings, 117,000 reviews, and 2,000 one-star reviews. The first review I've seen was from Nika, who says, Jesus Christ, just have sex. That's the entire review. The most overrated book in the history of literature. Wow. The plot borders between meaningless and trivial. I was forced to read the book in 9th grade English class. This was perhaps the most tedious school assignment I've received to date. For several pages, a lady remarks to a man about what wonderful handwriting he has. Not exactly gripping material. The entire book seemed to be about hormone-driven, marriageable creatures trying to outwit each other in word and on the dance floor. The book itself is bad enough, but to complicate matters, women pledge allegiance not only to the book, but also to the gazillion-hour movie. Is the movie long? Which movie are they talking about? This one has a lot of swear words, so I'm not going to read that one. I can't believe my professor read this 25 times. I am dead inside. Oh, poor Hannah. Hannah isn't a fan. With apologies to the zillions of Jane Austen fans, but hopefully there will be a few people who will agree with me. Okay. Painfully slow and dull. Nothing much happens for a good long while. Disliked it all the more because I didn't even want to read it. See, this is the problem with classics when you're forced to kind of read them in school, is that if you're forced to read a book, you automatically are going to be less likely to like it, if that makes sense. So I can see why people don't like this. People just say it's dull. I think people need to do stuff other than watch action movies by the sound of it. I can't believe it's over. One of the most miserable experiences of my reading life. After reading this, I'm not quite sure if I'm a classics person. I had to switch between audio and my physical copy to get through this book. I found Pride and Prejudice to be slow moving, dull and unnecessarily confusing. I hated how the sentences ran on and how detailed the dialogue was. I also just didn't care at all for any of the characters, as all of them were so plain. The climax and ending was also super underwhelming. I don't know what I expected from this book, but let's just say I won't touch another Jane Austen novel for quite some time. Oh my god, it's so funny how much I disagree with, like, it's like how it's really interesting how different everyone's opinions are. Like, this is like revered as one of like the best novels of all time, and there are thousands of people who are like, no, this is rubbish, and then there's thousands of people who are like, yeah, this is amazing. Like, just how do our tastes differ so much? I find it really interesting. Okay, I was gonna just do some other popular books now, so let's try The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I want to see. This has got 8 million. This has got more reviews than Pride and Prejudice. 1 star. Oh goodness. Some people. Barry Pierce has written, I am now stupider from reading this. The book was a huge disappointment to me. Never expected it to be that bad. A story about 24 kids under 18 fighting and killing each other because of an evil government, capital or whatever. Collins never explained why. There is no one real reason why they should kill each other. The worst thing about this book is it's just a copy from many books, especially Battle Royale, also a bit from Harry Potter and Twilight. Every line in the book reminds me of another book. Seriously, it seems like Suzanne Collins bought a bunch of books and she started to copy them. She added a few pathetic quotes. Finally, she called it The Hunger Games to get people's attention. This book is unoriginal. By the way, Collins was hungry when she wrote this book. Peter means pitta in French. Remember, Peter is a baker. Gale means meat. Meat types of meat in Iraq. What a coincidence. I gave this book 1 out of 5 because the plot was predictable. No happy surprises. The characters have the depth of a white crayon. especially in Mockingjay. So much violence and subliminal messages. The story is not original. Half a star for the cover, half star for the quality. Agree or disagree? I don't care. Oh my god. This is just really interesting. Obviously Hunger Games isn't like as revered and celebrated as Pride and Prejudice, but it was pretty damn successful, and it was made into a really successful series, and just reading people's reviews is really interesting. I know people love this book, but I hated it. I couldn't even get past the first few chapters. I found it trite, slow moving, predictable, not well written that well, and completely unrealistic. I didn't like any of the characters. The heroine is just mental and self-righteous. The plot has been done much better, most notably The Long Walk by Stephen King, writing as Richard Bachman. Oh, I can't speak today. I don't know what people want from books, is what I'm getting from this. As someone who's trying to write her own book, this is giving me such anxiety, because I'm like, what do you people want? Like, this is not easy. The book was so useless and poorly written, it nearly broke my heart to think that this mediocrity is so popular. Now this is a book I'd actually burn. With a cruel smile playing on my lips, I watch as the merciless flames devour the book, watch as the edges of the paper singe and then turn black, watch as they slowly crumble to ashes which blow away with the wind. I turn around and walk away. Yeah, okay, one more book and then we'll wrap this up. Let's do The Fault in Our Stars. Let's see what people have to say about that. 5 million people have rated this. Wow. 2% gave it a 1-star review. Oh my god, this is the longest review I've ever seen in my life. This is the John Greeniest book of all the John Green books, and I hate it and him more than anything. Why? What's wrong with John Green? Why would you hate him so much? I didn't like this book at all. I finished it in 2 hours, actually reading the first few chapters and then skimming the rest. Well, then you didn't read the book then, did you? No. I guess I'm not the target audience, but still, I do not understand all the praise for this book. It reads like a chemical formula where certain reactions are naturally expected from the reader, but I can't get past the synthetic feel of the thing. It's like those cherry-shaped candies Haribo makes. Terribly sweet indeed, easy to digest, but not really cherries, for cherries aren't made of crushed pig bones and intestines, and cherries have a solid core to them that's harder to swallow. That, or maybe I'm a robot. This is very well maybe the worst novel I've ever read. It's so unbelievably cheesy. I found myself rolling my eyes on a frequent basis. Also, the dialogue is terrible. People don't talk like that. Teenagers especially don't talk like that. The author is apparently a bestseller and has won all kinds of awards. This surprises me greatly. Okay, I've had enough, because this is just... People are so critical, and I genuinely don't understand what they are expecting or want from books. I wonder, well, let's have a look. What is the best, is there a way for me to see what the most positive ranked book on Goodreads is? Yeah, I can't find it, but I've got to say, I'm scared by how unhinged the internet is, and I don't understand what people want from their novels. So yeah, this was an interesting exercise as a writer who wants to write a book and publish it someday. Yeah, I'm scared of the general public. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye!